back each week while Steve-O educates you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve-O with today's expert in their field.
Hey, good afternoon. Another Ask the Experts show. I always say, when we have Tina Lord on the show, it's my favorite show. I hope no one else is listening, except for our next show is coming on. No, but it's so much fun doing Tina's show. And listen, if you're looking for a divorce attorney, hate to be a downer on an afternoon, so pretty, so beautiful outside, but listen, things happen. I just found out my son is getting a divorce. He's only been married for 6 years and 2 kids, and that was, and you see this every day.
Yeah.
Let's welcome Tina Lord.
Hello.
Tina is a board-certified
Yes.
family attorney. We'll talk about what that means. So it's so sad.
Well, I was
thought
just going to
about
say,
you too.
yes, in some circles, yes, I'm sorry to hear that about your son, but for most of my clients, they're happy when it's done. They're getting out of a situation that they're unhappy in. No one's getting divorced because they're happy.
That's true.
So
but what's the first thing you say when you get married? This is it for life.
Of course,
I'll
of course.
never get a divorce.
Right. No one ever thinks this is going to happen when they're walking down the aisle. But inevitably, when we finalize the divorce and we leave the courthouse, we're hugging and saying congratulations,
Right.
and they're planning their little party celebration that they're having that evening with their friends to celebrate. Partially that the process is over because it's tough to get through, but also that they're starting over. They're starting fresh and new beginnings and getting out of the bad situation that they were unhappy about already. So it can be very positive.
Well, I got to tell you, speaking
you
of
look at it that
positive,
way.
well, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
But you know what's so I love about you is your whole attitude, because this is not, we're saying, this is not a happy thing. And when there's kids involved, it's even sadder.
Mm-hmm.
And the process has got to be so tough. And you have to keep your cool, and you have to educate. And that's why, I think your area, family law, is without a doubt the toughest area.
I think
of
it
law.
is. I think it is, and I don't know. Yeah,
I've had
a lot
other
of
attorneys
attorneys don't necessarily know that or believe that until they practice family law. But yeah, there's a lot involved. It's not just the legal aspects and the knowledge and all that. It's people's lives. It's everything. It's their relationship. It's their family, their children, where they're going to live, how much money they're going to have to live on. So it's literally almost everything in their life that they're dealing with in the whole process.
A lot
so it's
scarier for a female because financially,
sometimes
because usually the male probably makes a little bit more, or they're taking care of their family like they should.
Yeah, and not to be, of course, you see the opposite, so not to be necessarily gender biased, but yes, it is more typical. Yes, it is more typical that the man, the husband, makes more money than the wife, or sometimes just that one person takes over the finances in the relationship. So maybe, I see this a lot. I see a lot of like the husband will be the person who's responsible for all the finances and managing all the accounts and knows what they have. And I get some people that come to me and they say, I don't know what we have. So some of the women will come and say, and that's part of the process is disclosure. So you have a right to know, okay, well, if you don't know what you have, we're going to find out. And you're going to be educated on that so that you can make an informed, educated decision on how to resolve the case and be right. But that's a huge part of the process is financial disclosure, so that you do find out if there's something you didn't know, you have the right to know it. But I see that a lot, and that's common. I think where one person in the relationship kind of manages the finances and the other one takes a back seat in that, sometimes more than other. But I see that a lot. So
something I've never asked you. What's more difficult to represent, the male or the female?
That's.
Now, you got to remember, we got the best
that's a
family attorney, but it's got to be a difference between representing the female versus the male.
There is. So, and again, I hate to say this because I've seen the opposite true, where I have the wife who's the primary breadwinner, and I've gotten alimony for husbands. But let's just say in our more typical, statistically more common scenario, that the husband is the breadwinner. So it's difficult representing the husbands when they have to pay alimony, and I have to explain to them, yes, sorry, you were the guy that this was the arrangement. So you made the money. Right. She maybe stayed home or worked part-time and didn't make as much, or sacrificed a career and career skills. And now that's the scenario. And now in a divorce setting, that's probably an alimony case, and you're going to have to pay. And how much is it going to be? And it's never, that's never a happy conversation for the person paying.
It's funny you said that. One of our emails this morning for your show was, how does a judge figure out who gets alimony if you're both making about the same amount of money?
If you're both making the same amount of money, it's probably not an alimony case.
But what if they're kids? But that's child support.
That's child support, right? So alimony is spousal support, and to meet the needs of the less earning or less pecuniary spouse, and and child support to support the children. So it's two different things.
Okay.
But if you have two people that are making about the same, there's no reason it should be an alimony case.
Is there a line, if this person makes this money and this person makes this amount of money, they're going to have to pay out? Is there a guideline to this?
No, there isn't. And
each judge is different?
Yeah, well, could be. Wow. And the last few years, we've had some legislative sessions where they tried to pass some alimony reform where there would be an alimony scenario, an alimony calculation, alimony schedule, and so that we have a formula, because we don't have a formula for alimony right now. So it's not this many years times this much money minus her money, it equals this amount of alimony. It's just, we don't have that.
So not like it is with child support.
Correct. Yeah, child support's a very precise calculation. We have a formula. You plug in numbers.
Doesn't matter what judge you go to.
Yeah, it should be this. Correct. Correct. The only thing to argue over in the child support calculation is what numbers to plug in. So people will say, well, I think he makes more than he's saying he makes, or I think she should be making more than she's making, and she should go to work. And so people can argue about what numbers to plug in to get the right child support formula. But for alimony, it's very discretionary. The factors that we have in the alimony statute are more conceptual. They're a little more, I call it abstract, as opposed to concrete numbers or anything like that. And so they take into consideration, the length of the marriage. That could determine what type of alimony you get, whether it's short term, long term, medium term. There are different types of alimony, and also how long, not only how long you get the alimony for, but how much it is, age, earning capacity, health.
If they remarry, do they still get the alimony?
By law, alimony terminates when the recipient spouse remarries.
Okay.
Unless your agreement says otherwise.
Okay.
Which I've seen.
So I want to ask you a question. In 3 years, I've never asked this question, but for a family attorney, I want people to really know who you are, because I think you are so easy to talk to, and I think that's important, because you're going to be telling your lawyer, when it comes to family law, everything.
And I tell them, tell me all the worst stuff. Right. Tell me all the good, the bad, and the ugly. I need to know it all.
Do you ever go home at night and go, wow, and you just think about a case you have and how much you feel for them?
I feel for all my clients, and that's part of, I think, what makes a good family law attorney, but it's also part of my job not to feel too much emotion, because that would get in the way of my objectivity and my ability to be strong for them. And a lot of them, that's what they need. They need a lawyer who can focus on, sorry to say this, but the business of it and the realistic legal outcome versus the emotion that's fueling them.
But you still have Kleenex in your office, right?
Of course, we stock up on that.
Go through a lot of Kleenex. Well,
we have a closet full of it.
I just want to, because I kind of roughly went over it. You are board certified, and I just want to say something, because I deal with lawyers all over the country, and I will never, after making this statement, I will never be able to have a lawyer who's got a boutique, who does 5 or 6 different areas of law. But this is all you do is family law.
Yeah.
And imagine, this is all every single day. But you know family law. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to get by you.
I'm proud to say that. This is what I know. This is what I do. I call myself an expert. You have to be board certified. Yeah, you have to be board certified to be able to call yourself an expert, to advertise yourself as an expert in any area of law, or a specialist, that you specialize. So if I weren't board certified and I just practiced only family law, I still couldn't say I specialize in family law or I'm an expert. So it's an extra level of competency that the Florida Bar offers. It's not easy to achieve. There are only I just looked this up recently because someone asked me. There are only 276 of us in the entire state that are board certified in family law. Out of 100,000 lawyers, or 100,000 give or take, and so it's an honor and it's a rarity, and it's something that I think it's a good way for the public to be able to look for that and know that they're getting a competent lawyer who has that extra level of skill in that area of practice.
I think that you only do family law that. I think you do really well for your clients, because actually I've met a lot of ex-family law attorneys.
Okay.
And the first thing he says, I couldn't take it. Mm-hmm. I wanted to call him a wuss. You know? So you've got that strength that a family lawyer needs, and you've seen everything.
Yeah.
And
when I think I've seen everything, something new comes up.
But that's very rarely,
that's
right?
People's lives, yeah.
And I see in Tina Lewart's mind this long checklist that you're not going to miss anything, because every month when we meet, it's like, God, I didn't know that, or I didn't know. You have this long checklist that you have to go through.
It's all up
You can't miss anything.
Yeah, no, and that's why, especially I think in this area of the law, when you're dealing with, like I said, all of these topics, all these subject matters, these huge issues in a person's life. And their future and the future of their children and their family, you do need a lawyer who really knows this area of law, who has substantial experience and skill. So, I tell my clients, and I tell people that come to me for consultations, whether it's me or someone else,
right,
look around, and you have to feel comfortable with who you're with, and talk to multiple lawyers and get you have to the right feel and the right fit, personality wise. But when you're looking to hire a lawyer, but look for somebody who does this, and if possible, who does only this, because there's so many intricate things to know and to be aware of that.
Well, we're going to go to break right now. It's just this is what I love about our show. I mean, the time goes by so fast, because everything. I mean, I don't know what the percentages are of people who get divorced, but I heard it was around 55-60%. That's very high.
It's a high percentage, yeah. It's a lot. I don't know what it is either. I think it changes and it varies by state and by demographic, but it's high. It's a lot.
Let's go to break. When we come back, we have more with Tina Lewart, family attorney.
Lewart Law Offices is proud to be the family law expert on the Ask the Expert show. Attorney Tina Lewart is a board-certified specialist in marital and family law. Attorney Lewart is committed to obtaining the best resolution for your divorce or other family law case by consistently providing skilled representation, expert legal advice, and personal attention. Attorney Lewart has developed an excellent reputation for providing effective divorce and family law representation in Boca Raton and the surrounding communities. Lewart Law Offices offers legal advice and representation in a wide range of family law matters, including divorce, child custody, time-sharing and visitation, child support, alimony, complex asset distribution, post-judgment modifications, and paternity actions. For expert representation in all aspects of divorce and family law, contact Attorney Tina Lewart today at 561-544-6861 or visit www.lewartlaw.com.
Hey, we're back with Tina Lewart. Tell everybody your phone number.
Sure. Phone number at the office is 561-544-6861. My office is in Boca. And
very easy to find.
Yeah. And East Boca. I mean, I handle cases all over Palm Beach County and some in Broward County. And then at any given time, Dade, I'll go over to Tampa, I'll go up to Orlando, but mostly Palm Beach County.
You know what? You have a beautiful website. First, I'll give everybody your website address.
It's lewertlaw.com, LEWERT law.com.
And you can actually go back and watch today's show. But I tell you what's so great about a website. Listen, things happen not during business hours. If you're thinking about going through a divorce and all these questions, you can go to a website like yours and get a lot of good information till the next business day. But your office is it's right off of 95. It's very easy to find. And it just, when I went, I'd come by the office once in a while. It's a very relaxed feeling, a lot of tissue.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing for about the last 4 months now, I've been trying to get questions from people. We tell them on Twitter. And I'm trying to we get a lot of the same questions. And one of them was about alimony. Here's one I've never heard of. How do I qualify for a simplified divorce? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there's actually a rule of procedure for what's called simplified dissolution of marriage. I don't see it much, and it's probably just because of the kind of cases that I'm used to handling and the clientele I'm used to working with. But there is a procedure for when you have no children and no assets and really nothing to do other than just get the divorce itself. And you and your spouse can go in, and I think there are forms, and there's some paperwork you fill out. You both sign it. You both file it together.
Is this an online divorce?
I don't think. Well, yeah, most of it's online at this point. But you can go to the clerk's office and get these forms, and they'll give you the paperwork. You can waive all the financial disclosure because you're saying we don't have anything to split, we don't have anything financial to do, and then they'll give you a final hearing date. And
so there really is a such thing.
There is such a thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, someone has done their homework. I got to say this, and it's mostly to women. Over the years, I've met so many women who got a divorce that are so unhappy how it was settled. And they say it was their fault. Either I didn't have as good of an attorney or I settled for less.
Right.
Probably I settled for less is the number one.
I see that a lot. And I yes.
So tell people why you should bring the claws out, especially to women.
Yeah, and
see it.
So that's interesting you say that because I just had a conversation this week with frankly, a client of mine who I've seen her situation so many times, and I've seen people in her position who, emotionally. Nobody wants a big battle. Nobody wants to kill each other. Well, most people. Some people do. Some people do want to kill each other based on what happened in the relationship. But most people come to me and they say, listen, I don't want to go to trial if I really don't have to. I don't want a big World War III divorce battle. I don't want to spend, all the money that I have to go through this. And just emotionally, I don't want to be enemies with my ex, especially if we have children together. Obviously, you're going to be ex-husband and ex-wife, but you're not going to be ex-parents. So you still have to co-parent. We don't want to be enemies. So how do we do this? And I have seen that. I've seen a lot of women, and they almost feel like guilty when they're saying, I need alimony. And by the way, it's a long-term marriage. Long-term marriage in Florida is 17 years or more. And in a 17-year or more marriage, there is a presumption of what we call permanent alimony, which is alimony until either party dies or the wife remarries.
Because of the length of the marriage.
Because of the length of the marriage. And, again, there has to be a disparity in income to get alimony, but, so she's got to have a need for it. But, and I just see a lot of women who will say, I feel guilty, I feel bad, permanent. Oh, that just sounds so terrible. And then, of course, the guy's, to him it is terrible, and nobody wants to pay permanent alimony. Nobody wants to pay alimony, but when you put the word permanent in front of it, it's even worse. And so it just sounds so, but that's the law. And I've been saying to more and more of my female clients, listen, female or alimony recipient, don't waive, be careful.
You'll be sorry later
and
on.
I want my prospective alimony clients to go to a financial planner, to go to a certified divorce planner or a CPA, or to sit down with somebody and figure out.
There's a certified divorce planner?
Yes. Oh, we have all these professionals in the divorce world that absolutely, they'll sit there with you and figure out not only some of the financial aspects of the case, but they'll help you with your financial affidavit, so what are my expenses? Sometimes, like I said, you don't know. I mean, the average person doesn't keep track. What do I spend on parking and tolls? I don't know. That's a line item on the financial. So what do all, other than the big things that you have to spend money on every month and your expenses, what are all the little things that make up all of what I need to live on every month? And then, what am I going to need in my pocket, dollars in my pocket to live after this is over? And I've seen women come back to me, not back to me, but come to me and say, I had a different attorney in my divorce, and I waived. I can't live on what I'm getting, and I look at it, I'm going, oh, why? You could have gotten more, and you should have gotten more, and why didn't you have somebody go over this with you? And well, I didn't know I was going to have to pay taxes on it because alimony's taxable.
Yes.
Right now, anyway, and I actually should get to that in a second.
Yes, we're going to get.
So anyway, there's just so many things that go into how much you need and that number, and I just see, for some reason there's a guilt thing or what it is.
This is a warning.
Be careful.
Yeah, you don't want like 5 years from now going, why did I get more? If you have an alimony
case, you need to listen to whatever advice your lawyer is giving you about it, and be thorough and not just say, oh, this should be enough, I'll deal with it, and I'll walk away.
You never know. So we were talking earlier before the show about tax reform. Right.
So that's an important piece of just stemming off of what I just said. And I put something about this on my Facebook page, it's Lewert Law LLC Facebook page, that the new tax law that we have based on the tax reform that was just passed, part of that affects alimony. So right now, and how it's been this way for I think 70-something years, alimony, if you receive alimony, it's taxable to you as income. If you pay alimony, it's tax deductible to you. So you actually kind of get a break if you're the payor. Starting in 2019, that all goes away.
Wow.
So if and there's a grandfathering in, is my understanding. So right now, if you get divorced in 2018, if you finalize your divorce in 2018, your alimony will still be taxable to the person receiving it and still be tax deductible to the person paying it. But if your divorce is finalized in 2019 and you have to pay alimony,
that all goes away.
You don't get a tax deduction, and the person paying doesn't have to pay taxes. So depending on who you are, you either like this or you don't like this. But I'm telling people right now, I mean, frankly, for people, if you have an alimony case or a potential divorce case with an alimony component and you have to pay alimony or you expect to have to pay alimony, 2018 is the year to get it done because you're going to have that tax deduction. So if you're going to plan
on getting divorced, say, within the next 20 years, you might want to go ahead and have it done now if there's alimony involved.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. You only know what you know now. But I'm just saying, but some people, they see it coming, and I have people that can come in for a consultation, and they're like, well, it's coming or it's happening, but I need to do some planning, and maybe in the next few months we'll file and get it started. And so there are people that are, where it's kind of looming, and they have an idea, or they're just sort of waiting for the right time when, sometimes there is no right time. And of course, everyone has to make their own decision personally of when is the right time to file.
Right.
That's an emotional decision sometimes too. But just from that perspective, with the tax reform that we have, the changes in the law, there's a big effect there.
We've got about a minute left. Tell me why somebody should hire you, retain you as an attorney. I love doing this to you.
Let's see. What did I say last time? No,
let's repeat it.
You should hire a lawyer who cares about the outcome of your case, and not just, yes, you have to get through the process. Sometimes there's a lot of personal interaction with your lawyer, your divorce lawyer, and it's important to have to be comfortable, to have a good fit with that person personality-wise, but also, you need somebody who is invested in the outcome and getting the best outcome, the best outcome.
I can tell you are invested with your clients.
Yeah. I mean, you want the best thing for them. And sometimes that means going to court, and sometimes that does not mean going to court. Sometimes that means settling the case, and different cases, most of the time it means settling the case, frankly. I mean, that's the truth.
And you want to be able to trust your attorney.
That's the truth. But
they're giving you the best advice.
Right. And you want an attorney who can do both. Who can go to bat either way for you.
You can litigate,
but advise you that when it's time to resolve a case and not go to court and not spend the money fighting, you want somebody who's able to be honest about that too.
Yeah, you've told me before you don't want to go to court, but if you have to,
well,
there's
not
a
that I
reason.
don't like to go to court. It's frankly fun for me, isn't it? but it's never better for families, and that's what I find.
Well, listen, we love having you on the show. Give everybody your phone number.
Sure, 561-544-6861 is the number at the office, and the website is www.lewertlaw.com, Lewert.
So if you've got a friend, or maybe a cousin, a family member who's contemplating going through a divorce, do them a favor. Give them Tina's phone number. Go right to her website. If you missed today's show, you can go to her website. And Tina will be back with us again next month. We're going to go to break. And we come back, we're talking about pain today.
Ooh.
We'll be back.
Didn't we just do that?